That was crazy. In the immortal words of Ricky Bobby, that just happened. Georgia Ole Miss was a nut show. It was crazy. This is the Nitro College Football Show, Dawgs Uncensored Post Game. Like and subscribe. We are talking dogs. So like and subscribe. Talking dogs. Immediate reaction. Holy shit. What an offensive performance, really, by both teams. It was a shootout. There was no defense until the last three drives that Ole Miss had. Incredible game by Gunner Stockton. Absolutely incredible game. If people have doubted him, they need to remove all doubt. Does he leave some passes out there that could have been touchdowns? Absolutely. But today, Gunner Stockton threw for 289 yards, ran for 59, threw 4 touchdown passes, and scored 1 rushing touchdown. I'll take that for my quarterback any day of the week. Size him up against any quarterback in the nation. Those are stellar numbers. Gunner Stockton is the heart and soul of that Georgia football team, and that was on full display this afternoon. Now, the defense, gosh, what is going on? This is probably one of the most frustrating defensive games in recent memory. Just missed tackle after missed tackle after missed tackle. And yes, credit to Ole Miss offense, Trinidad Chambliss. He's awesome. He's super legit. But the missed tackles, that's the stuff that just drives you crazy. I mean, until the last 3 drives of the game, Ole Miss had scored a touchdown on every drive. They were perfect on third down up until that point. Our defense was just getting flat out whipped. They could stop nothing. It could be 3rd and long. There was a 3rd and 7 that I remember. First down. If it's 3rd down, they're going to get a first down. No doubt. Insanely frustrating by the defense. But that being said, they did finally show up at the very end of the game. And they were the only defense that showed up at the end of the game. And they were able to get 3 straight stops, true stops, causing the first punt of the game, and then converting those stops into points. So just a great job of time management and game management there at the end. Georgia got exactly what they needed when they needed it. Because even though Georgia didn't score touchdowns on every single drive, Georgia didn't punt at all. We either got touchdowns or field goals. There was points scored, and that kept us in the game. I've said this before on this show. The offense is the strength of this team. So Bobo haters, GTFO. There'll be no Bobo slander in this house. Mike Bobo is doing an amazing job with that team. 510 total yards today. 510. Compare that to Ole Miss. Ole Miss had 351. This was such a confusing game too, because Georgia was racking up yards, leading in yards, but Ole Miss was leading in points the whole game. It just seemed like how I know we gave them the ball on the 35 a couple times, which was weird, but holding them to 351, I guess that's not terrible. Because I mean, 500 yards worth of offense. That's impressive, and you just beat the number 5 team in the country. So how about them Dogs, man? Big day offensively. Gunner 289 yards rushing or passing. We had 221 total yards of rushing, and hats off to Nate Frazier. He had a really good game. He had a lot of really hard runs, and he protected the ball. That was his number one job, and you can tell it was protect the ball. But he was getting 4 yards a carry, 17 carries for 72 yards. Chauncey Bowens was electric. He had 10 carries for 61 yards. I mean, our running game is awesome. And unsung hero of the game, Dylan Bell, had a sneaky, awesome game. He made some clutch plays, clutch catches, and clutch runs. I mean, he stepped up, and that was huge because in the first drive we lost our best big receiver, Colby Young, and unfortunately he broke his leg, so he's going to be out for a while. So that sucks. But I'm really proud of this team. As bad as the defense was, they did just enough for Georgia to win this game. And not all games are going to be, our defense is not going to dominate every game. They're too young. They're still learning. But at the end of the game, you saw pressure on the quarterback, you saw good tackling, and you saw great play in the secondary. I mean, the first stop of the game was a great play by Dalen Everett. To me, he's the MVP of our defense this year so far. I mean, what a player, what a season he's having. Just being everywhere he needs to be and making stops when it needs to happen. But man, that was a wild game. I was getting really nervous there. Really nervous. Because Ole Miss, man, they're good. They're a really good team. Lane Kiffin has done just an amazing job with that group or that school. I mean, they have made their way into the upper echelon of college football. Now they got to win more big games like this, but they're doing great. And so this is a great win for Georgia. I can't believe we won because the way the defense came out, I thought for sure we were going to get our asses kicked. And it felt like that, but they just kept fighting back. Every drive after drive. Gunner, the run game, the receiver. We saw for everybody who's also complaining about us not throwing the tight ends, we threw to the tight ends today. Lawson Luckie had 3 touchdown passes. 3 touchdown passes to the tight end. Hell yeah. So that was awesome to see. I mean, the offense was great. There, you can't complain too much about the offense. Zachariah Branch also just killing it. 8 catches, 71 yards. Yeah, Dylan Bell had 2 for 57, one super clutch one. Lawson Luckie 5 for 43 and 3 touchdowns. Oscar Delp, 4 catches, 42 yards. So right there, that's 9 catches for the tight ends. I don't know how many targets there was, but tight ends are getting involved and good things happen. So there's a lot to be hopeful for after winning this game. We know Georgia can score with anybody. We faced 3 of the best offenses in the country so far. I think that's safe to say. And one didn't go our way. We actually played pretty good in the second half against Alabama. But this game, I'm tired. It wore me out, man. I don't know. I don't know how you feel about it. So on a nervousness, anxiety-ridden scale for Georgia games, because that's how we're gonna have to rate these Georgia games this year. Is, how much anxiety are they giving you, and so calling it the Miller Lite scale or the beer scale. How many beers did you have to drink to make it through this game? So right now we're giving it a 5. So for me, I was super nervous, but we did it. These dogs did it. We wanted Georgia going into this game. We wanted the offense to start fast, take some chances, and that's exactly what they did. And that was awesome to see. We only got a field goal out of that first drive, but it did prove that, okay, we're going to be aggressive and we're going to go for this thing. And so that was awesome to see. And then the other thing we wanted the defense to start fast. Well, that didn't happen. That was the worst defensive performance I think seen Georgia have in a very long time. And I thought the Tennessee game was bad. This blew that away. So first quarter, good first drive, aggressive, gets killed by a penalty. Young gets hurt, breaks his leg, and we get the field goal. And eventually, and so Ole Miss gets the ball back, and we finally get them in a 3rd and long, and we give up the 3rd and long. Ole Miss then has a long opening drive, scores a touchdown. Then Dawgs respond with another long drive. Gunner just making plays. He did miss a wide open Oscar Delp, but in all fairness, he was under pressure on that one. And then for some reason, Bobo did a stupid trick play with Cash Jones that didn't work. And they took that 3rd down into the second quarter, where immediately Gunner hits Lawson Luckie for a touchdown. Beautiful pass. He was wide open, just easy pitch and catch. But then Ole Miss drives, scores a touchdown. We can't stop anything. Georgia cannot stop anything. They couldn't catch Cole. They couldn't catch COVID on that field in that first half, first 3 quarters. But Gunner was great on the next drive. Lots of great throws, great runs by Bowens. And then Gunner gets that long touchdown run, which was huge. I mean, that was just an awesome moment. I was so happy for Gunner. It was shades of Stetson Bennett running down the field. I mean, just great things on the offensive side. And then on defense, more terrible tackling. I don't know why this team can't tackle. They're just awful, awful at tackling. And for the first 3.5 quarters, the defense looked absolutely lost. We had a couple pass interference calls. There was one that was really ticky tack in the end zone. Um, but Georgia ended up getting the ball back with 2 minutes left in the half and really had some great clock management, drove it down, grinded the clock, and got a field goal. And that was a big key to this game was when Georgia had the ball, they made a conscious effort to really grind the clock. Because I think if Georgia didn't do that, this game could have easily been in the 50s and 60s if it was just quick score after quick score. Um, but Georgia wanted to run that clock, and sure enough, they did. Time of possession. Let's check that out. Time of possession. Yeah, Georgia had the ball for 37 minutes compared to Ole Miss 22 minutes. So that's a huge reason, one of the huge reasons why Georgia won this game. And so yeah, Georgia had great clock management, goes in the half with a field goal, and then Ole Miss comes out, scores immediately, long touchdown pass, and it's just like, my God. But then Georgia responds, gets a touchdown, tried to get the 2-point conversion, would have been nice, would have tied the ball game, didn't happen. And then we give up another touchdown, and I'm thinking at this point, oh my God, our defense sucks. Like, what the hell? Because it happened so many times. The defense would just suck. We get a stop on third down, and of course, we give up a huge gain on fourth down. But I don't know. I don't know what to think of this team. It is a heart attack on TV. But then late in that third quarter, Georgia finally got to stop. Finally got to stop. And then we have a great drive. Lawson Luckie gets his third TD. And thankfully, last 3 possessions that Ole Miss had, Georgia got stops. And that ultimately won Georgia the game. Oh, man. Wild ride. Wild ride. But I'm so happy. So happy for these Dogs. If you're a Georgia fan and you're not excited about this team, you need to go get your blood pressure checked. See if you have a pulse. Because Georgia, it seems, can win in any type of game. And yeah, I'm saying that even with the loss to Alabama. Georgia should have won that game. But they didn't. You know, the ball didn't bounce their way. Probably should have lost the Tennessee game, but the ball didn't bounce Tennessee's way. That's the way it goes sometimes. But it is nice as a Georgia fan to have your quarterback go out there and be responsible for 5 touchdowns, no interceptions. Gunner is the man. Gunner needs to be propped up a little bit more. He's getting better each week. I think the more he gets comfortable, the more he will excel and we'll start seeing bigger plays. I mean, that's just the nature of football. The more reps you get, the better you are. I think that's one reason why Trinidad Chambliss was so good. He played D2, won a national championship at D2. So he's getting live reps. And then he transfers up to Ole Miss and, you know, he's ready to hit the ground running. Well, Gunner, this is his first year starting and getting, live reps. And I think he's doing a damn good job. There's a lot of good quarterbacks out there, a lot of good teams this year. But these dogs, man, them dogs is hell. They're hell on everybody. They're hell on their opponents. They're hell on their fans. They're hell on themselves. Them dogs is straight up hell. But I do have to say, the game day setup, still undefeated. Changed it up after that Alabama game. Black Nike, classic 90s throwback Georgia hat. Got to keep this going. That was a wild game. Wild game. All right. Well, that's going to do it for me today. I'm exhausted after that game. It was too much. Hopefully next week it's not as bad. Let's see who we got next week. Okay, next week's a bye week, and then we get old Florida. Another scary game because they're playing much better, and they have a hell of a defense. That's going to be a fight. But you got to be proud of these dogs. You got to be proud of them. They fought like hell. The offense did amazing. The defense finally showed up at the end when it counted most. It's a resilient team. You're going to hear that over and over. That's what Kirby says nonstop. And it's the truth. They are. It is very resilient. And happy for Gunner. Amazing game. Just an absolute amazing game by Gunner. I mean, he was 26 of 31. So what is that? That's 84% completion percentage. I'd say that's pretty good. That is pretty good. Good to see some pressure on the defense at the end. And it's tough being a dog. It's tough business being a dog fan because this team is going to make you sweat. Going to keep you on the edge of your seat. It's going to be a hell of an entertaining season. Got a lot of big games left this year, and I'm here for it. I'm here for these dogs. So let's see them. We'll be back tomorrow with our weekend recap, and we'll be live on Sunday night. Me and Street. Right now, Street's out in the woods. He missed the game, but he's camping. So looking forward to chatting it up with him tomorrow. But great win for the Dogs. Love seeing Georgia just overcome adversity. Even though everybody was picking Georgia to win this game, it still felt scary that Georgia wasn't going to make it. But it did. It was good. And Georgia prevails, gets a bye week, and then on to Florida. So until next time, I'm Burl. This is Nitro College Football Show, Dogs post game. If you love college football and you love these dogs, like and subscribe.